Hello, everyone. Welcome to the world premiere event called When They See Us. I have been so excited in preparing for this event. We have a lineup for you all. This segment is why this matters. I'm going to be talking a little bit about why this matters, why it's so important. And then we have a conversation with Dr. Kendall Moody. And then, of course, you just saw our participants showcase. We'll be talking a little bit about them, each of our participants, and then the live interview with a sickle cell warrior tonight at 8 p.m. You don't want to miss it. When They See Us is starting right now. Hello again, everyone. I'm OD. I am the executive director and founder and host of On the Air Sickled. And this is our very first campaign. It's a virtual live campaign for World Sickle Cell Day. And it is part of our outreach branch called On the Air Sickled Beyond the Mic. This is why this matters. We are talking about stigmas. We're talking about why it's important for you to see the warriors as the warrior, and we are more than our disease. And so, before I dive into this, I want to make sure that we talk a little bit about the weather. It is hot outside today, y'all. High of 92 degrees, low of 67. Make sure that you fill up your water jugs. Make sure that you're staying hydrated and that you're staying cool. Tomorrow's weather, we're looking at a high of 90, another hot day, and a low of 68 degrees. Listen, I want to jump right into why this matters. Why is this so important that we talk about, you know, basically when they see us? What do I mean by that? There's a reason that the campaign is called When They See Us, because too often they don't. Sickle cell disease doesn't just live in our blood. It lives in the shadows of the medical system, hiding behind misconceptions and bias and silence. And we, the warriors, the survivors, the caregivers, we are often overlooked, where we feel the silence, and every ER visit is a opportunity for us to be dismissed. Every delayed diagnosis, every child born with a disease their parents didn't even know they carried. This campaign was born out of invisibility and our refusal to stay hidden. You see, I was born with sickle cell disease, SS, which is one of the most severe forms of sickle cell disease. And I've lived the crisis. I've lived the fear. I've lived the fatigue and the hospital stays. But I've also lived through something far more deeper. I've lived through the frustration of being unseen. For years, even I didn't have the language to describe the weight that I carried. It's a weight of advocacy and endurance, of being tired but still showing up, of knowing that your silence won't save you, but your story just might be the story that saves someone else's. And that's what this campaign is all about. It's a collective testimony. And of course, like I said, later on today, we'll be talking about the warriors that have submitted their images for you to see them, either in crisis or in a moment of celebration and joy. Let's talk about the reality for a second. It's the facts are simple that 1 in 13 Black or African American babies is born with sickle cell trait, and that's a carrier. And most of the time, people have no idea. They don't even get tested. They don't even think that it matters until it does. Until two people with the trait have a child, and that child is born with a disease that will follow them every day of their life. A disease that doesn't go away, a disease that kills, and yet we still don't see nationwide trait testing as a priority. On the Air Sickled, our main goal is to air the good, the bad, and the ugly in the name of awareness and advocacy. We want the community to be aware of sickle cell disease and the different variations that can be created from such an experience. Now, imagine knowing this for just a second and still feeling invisible. Imagine walking into an ER unable to breathe, in pain that feels like fire and knives pulsing through your bones, and being told that you're drug seeking, that your chart says frequent flyer, that you shouldn't wait. And even though every second you wait brings your oxygen lower, your crisis deeper, your life closer to risk, that's what it's like living with sickle cell disease. That's what it's like for warriors to face daily. and not occasionally, but consistently. And if you're Black, the statistics say that you'll wait longer than anyone else. So why this campaign and why now? It is because the world cannot claim to love us and still refuse to see us. Because the stories of those living with sickle cell disease are not optional content, they are essential truths. And because we're tired of whispering about something that demands a megaphone. This is not a symphony campaign. This is not about pity. This is about power. This is about our power showing up, the power of being counted, the power of being seen. When you look at the images in this campaign, you'll see people with all types of genotypes: SS, SC, sickle beta, thalassemia, sickle cell trait. You'll see people living full lives, finding joy, pushing through, and doing what they love in spite of the pain. And in some cases, because of it. Because pain made them pay attention. Because struggle birthed purpose. Because sickle cell gave them a reason to speak louder, live bolder, and live harder. We called it When They See Us for a reason. Because they isn't just the medical system. It's the employers who don't understand. It's the teachers who don't listen. It's the friends who disappear. It's the communities that don't talk about trait testing, the churches that skip over chronic illnesses in their prayers, the world that makes assumptions instead of making space. We deserve space. We deserve time. We deserve care. I sit on the Patient and Family Advisory Council at a local hospital, a seat that didn't come from a title, but from my life, from lived experience, from understanding what it means to advocate when your body is too tired to even get out of bed. That seat reminds me every day, visibility is a strategy. We don't get to fix what we refuse to face. And most of this country still refuses to face sickle cell disease. We launched this campaign here in June because June 19th is World Sickle Cell Day. It's also Juneteenth. That's not a coincidence. Juneteenth is about emancipation, freedom, truth finally being acknowledged. And what better day to launch a campaign that demands our truth be seen, to demand freedom from ignorance, freedom from bias, freedom from being treated like less because our disease is more common in Black bodies. Here's the kicker. You don't have to be Black to have sickle cell disease. You don't have to be African to carry trait. It's been found in Hispanic, Mediterranean, Middle Eastern, and even Caucasian communities. One of our featured participants this year, Justin, lives with sickle cell beta thalassemia. And he's white. You'll hear from him tonight during our live interview. His journey matters because this disease doesn't care who you are, but systems do. And they still see this as a Black disease. And that's a problem. You'll also hear from Dr. Kendall Moody, a licensed clinical social worker, later today, because it's not just our blood that needs healing. It's our minds, it's our mental health, it's our relationships. The toll that sickle cell takes emotionally is real. The trauma, the medical mistrust, the anxiety before every appointment, the depression when your body won't cooperate. Mental health is not a side topic. It's essential to survival. And that's why we're here. To make a little noise, to reframe the narrative, to stop waiting for a seat at the table and start building our own. This campaign is digital, but its impact is real. It's for every person who never got to tell their story. It's for every child who just wants to play outside and And unfortunately they can't because their hemoglobin is dangerously low. It's for every adult who has to pick between working and protecting their health. Every mother who prays her baby never has to feel this pain. Visibility is activism, but it's also vulnerability. Every photo submitted, every genotype listed, every caption written, it's an act of bravery. So if you're watching this and you've never been tested, go get tested. If you have the trait, talk about it. Share your story. If you're a caregiver, let your voice be heard. And if you're a warrior, know that this moment is for you. This campaign is your mirror. You matter. You are not alone. This is just the beginning. What we do today, June 19th, 2025, matters long after the video stopped airing. We're building a legacy of awareness, strength, and change. So when the next parent finds out that their child has sickle cell, they don't have to feel lost. When the next warrior is in crisis, they don't have to be dismissed. When the world talks about chronic illness, they can feel included because now they will see us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for choosing to see us. As the day continues, I encourage you to lean in, hear the stories, watch the images, stay for the live interview tonight, and most of all, share this campaign because silence has never saved us. Because when we are seen, we are stronger. And when we are stronger, we can fight together. Because when they see us, they have to care. And when they care, things start to change.